Serious, what secret could ruin your life?
15 years ago. Between jobs, I took a short-term gig helping a large gay porn company, assisting them resolving some performance issues on their website. It was supposed to be only 2 weeks. That was 15 years ago. No one in my extended family knows that I work in gay porn, let alone know that I'm in charge of everything except video production. My dad, probably, sexually abused me when I was a kid. I say probably because I don't actually remember it, but all the signs were there. I used to not want to clean, touch my genital area, and once I had blood in my panties. My period started many years later, just to name a few. Apparently he drugged me to make me sleep and then do whatever he did. The case went to court, but they decided there wasn't enough proof, so he wasn't charged. My mom was granted full custody though. I don't really feel like it was my fault, but I definitely feel disgusting. I mean, it's about the most disgusting thing a person could do. I don't really know what the point of writing this was, but it feels a bit liberating to be able to say it. I hope anybody who's gone through similar things isn't doing too badly.
When I was about 5 years old, my sister, 2 years old, and I were in the backyard in a kiddie pool. When my mom went inside, I attempted to drown my sister. After I saw her lifeless, I realized that it was a big mistake, pulled her out of the pool and called for my mom. Luckily she knew CPR and she was life-flighted to the hospital. My mom thanked me for saving her, pulling her out of the pool. Next week was my birthday. The police, firefighters, paramedics came to my house to give me gifts and celebrate my birthday. To this day, 20 years later, I still think about it. I remember the day so vividly. Not a soul knows the real truth.
I forged my high school transcripts to get into university. I can't even think about the consequences to my actions if anyone were to ever find out. I'm 3 weeks shy of graduating with a degree in biology.
I'm using a proxy to access websites that are blocked. I live in an Islamic country, so if the police find out about it, I could get arrested.
I own accounts on multiple sites dedicated to taking down child pornographers. If anyone knew who I was, I imagine there would be a lot of perverts wanting revenge, and I don't want to put anyone at risk.
When I was 10, my cousin sexually molested me during a sleepover at my aunt's house. My aunt walked in on her molesting me and took me away from her. However, since that day it was never talked about within my family and everyone acts like that day never existed.
I am in serious debt because of a drug addiction I used to have, of which my family didn't know I had. I'm almost 2 years clean now, but I can hardly pay any bills I have, and I'm afraid to ask any family member for money because I know I can't pay them back in the near future. Edit THNX for all the kind words, guys and gals. Sadly, here in the Netherlands, declaring bankruptcy isn't as easy. You have to have certain points going for and against you to actually declare it, as far as I know. As for the people talking about sending something to help Plaza, if you want to help, send it to some sort of charity that helps addicted to get and stay clean. Because for me, even though I have it rough, the people still fighting this have it 10x rougher. This question always makes me wonder about the horrible secrets that people can't bring themselves to talk about, even in a semi-anonymous place like Reddit. The people here who have spoken up already have pretty intense secrets. Just imagine the secrets that go unshared. My oldest son committed suicide in 2015. He shot himself in the head. Every day I talk myself out of putting myself in dangerous situations where I could possibly be killed or hurt because I miss him so badly and want to be with him. Edit. Thank you so much for the words of support and encouragement both here and in private messages. I appreciate all the thoughts. I want to assure everyone concerned that I am indeed seeing a therapist regularly, am doing okay, and I spend as much time with my younger son as possible. He's graduating high school next month and is our sunshine and joy, and through him my oldest boy lives on. I am humbled by the care and concern I've received from so many strangers. You guys are incredible.
The plain truth is that I can't deal with the pain of the disease. My daughters can't accept that I am so sick. My husband can't conceive of losing me. But I'm sick and I am going to die. And I'd be at peace if they could be okay without me. But I'm gonna miss my grandbabies. They are so lovely. Baby Teddy is so perfect.
Most people are under the impression that I do very well when it comes to talking to women, but not only have I not had actual sex in months, but the last time I did have sex I was raped. I was out of town and I stumbling home from a bar. I was so drunk that I couldn't find my hotel, so I decided to hitchhike. A guy picked me up and took advantage of me. I was so drunk that I only remember bits and pieces. I can't remember his face either. It doesn't really affect me that much because I try to pretend it never happened. When I do think about it though, it does hurt a lot. I never thought it would happen to me. I was so wrong. Edit, the amount of support I am getting from all of you is unbelievable. This really made my month already, thank you all so much.
I've been sexually abused more times than I can count. When I was 5-6 years old staying at my grandma's house, I woke up to her boyfriend's hand in my underwear. When I was 10, my stepdad would put his hand up my shirt and in my pants when he'd get me to sit on his lap. Starting when I was 13, I would stay at a friend's house a lot because her dad would let us drink and smoke pot. It took 2-3 years of this before I realized what was happening. I would wake up in her bed never remembering how the night before had ended with my underwear cut along the crotch. He'd been drugging my drinks and doing God knows what. By this point I'd become hypersexualized. At 16 I had a 28-year-old boyfriend. I had a threesome with him and his friend a few times, the last time I saw his friend paying him hundreds of dollars when they thought I was busy. Almost a year ago I got too drunk at my birthday and fell asleep waiting for the bus. I woke up to cops saying they had arrested someone for sexually assaulting me because some kind strangers called them. I still don't know how far he got.
Finding out that I have a mental disability and my whole life people have hidden it from me, treated me the same as if I was normal. I get paid a 6-figure salary for a standard 40-hour-a-week corporate job for a massive well-known company. In a given week I do maybe an hour of actual work, the rest of the time I am on Reddit or YouTube slacking off. I thought when I got this job that eventually someone would figure out I don't do anything all day, but here I am 14 years later still doing fuck all and getting paid a lot for it. Don't know if it counts, but when I was 15 I looked like a hybrid of Cloven and Napoleon Dynamite and was bullied by this mammoth fetus lineman at school. This kid easily weighed 3 times as much as me. But one day I got sick of his shit. This day also happened to be the day before our final exam in world history. While he was at wrestling practice after school, I went into his locker and stole his textbook, study guide, and notebook and took them home with me that night. The next morning, I got to school extra early, and put all of the stolen stuff perfectly back in his locker. He rolled in that morning bitching to the administration about how someone stole all his stuff. But when he walked them over to his locker and his stuff was sitting right there, he looked like a total dumbass and the admins refused to help him check the cameras. Pretty sure he failed the test too. At the time, I'm pretty sure he would have beat the living fuck out of me had he found out. TLDR, I was a nerd and got revenge in classic nerd fashion.
As a police officer I rarely if ever arrest people for possession of marijuana. Something that if found out would probably get me ostracized and possibly fired since I work in a conservative department. Edit. I would to thank those who have thanked me. I really hope when I retire I can help reform not only the laws but the corrections system as well. Believe me when I say there's a lot of us out there who share this ideal. However, it's not widely acceptable behavior. Those who don't embrace the culture are usually looked down upon. Think vegetarian lion. I got into this field over 15 years ago for a reason. As of late I feel I have finally realized what that was. While I can't completely turn this oil tanker of a problem around, I can try and prevent some from being exposed to an unforgivable system. It really comes down to having the discussion with an open mind and realizing some laws don't stand to the test of time. Again, thanks for the support.
Throwaway time. When I was really young, 9-13, I went on Omegle and dual masturbated with another guy who could have been anywhere from in his late 40s to his early 60s. I am a guy and I am straight. After it was over I stupidly told him I was not 18. He said I know, and nonchalantly skipped me.
I was debating posting until I saw the biggest throws post. Very similar, only it was me and my older brother. Not worried about a throwaway as this is my fucking account anyways. Long story short, I was maybe 9 or 10, him 14 I believe. He tricked me into play wrestling, then end up on top, then promise me my favorite snack if I take it just right. This only went on for 2 years. That's the gist of it. This may sound stupid, but I never thought much of it until recently. I'm 29, since it was the only time he did anything remotely homosexual, at least to me. This is literally my first time sharing this with anyone ever. I'm not as shaken up about it as I probably should be, considering the certain porn addiction it led to and my virginity to this day. Edit. I knew Redditors were cool, but holy hell. Thank you all for the overwhelming support. I can't believe people who have never met me are so forward and helpful. I'm fighting hard not to cry in this small food court. There is a super high possibility that I have a child. A girl I was with, who turned out to be crazy, lied about being on birth control. The times like up almost too good and it looks kind of like me. Since then she has been married and her husband seem happy together, so I've never worried about it.
I joined a job that is known for being absolutely miserable and a good chance of me getting killed. I love it. I was suicidal as a teenager and I gave up, knowing I couldn't kill myself. Now I have a good chance of dying without me having to do anything. And to add to the goods, my family would get a whole lot of life insurance money if I got killed, so I could do them a lot of good becoming a corpse. If word ever got out, I'd be in a lot of trouble and probably pulled. I don't want it. I need the such, or else I fall into a horrible depression. I need the challenge and risk. Edit. Those who guessed. Yes, I'm military.
I can only get aroused if I pretend I'm a child being abused. I'm female and definitely not a child abuser. I don't know if I was abused as a child. I have hazy memories. Real children have nothing to do with my fantasies, but my lustful fantasies sicken me. I would never dare tell anyone this, not even a therapist. I wish I could stop or redirect my thoughts, but so far I haven't been able to. I know I've been sexually aware and touching myself for as long as I can remember, but I don't know if I've always had these fantasies. It's like there is a devil in me and I hate it. I'm gay and a lot of my family/friends are pretty homophobic. I know it's far too late for this to be noticed in the thread, but it just feels good to say it. Edit. Thanks guys, it really means a lot. I can't feasibly go through and respond to every nice comment, but I really appreciate it all, and it's really boosted my self-esteem. Thanks Reddit.